On the season 3 finale of 90 Day Fiance, The Other Way, so many couples got married. Seriously, there were 4 weddings in one episode. One of those couples was already married. But Ellie Rose and Victor McLean, one of this season's new couples, were nowhere to be seen. The messy couple certainly didn't marry, but are they even still together? Towards the end of this season, drama like Victor's cheating, and even the devastation from the hurricane took a back seat. Ellie and Victor were, simply put, not getting along. They were bickering back and forth, not speaking like a couple in love and more like bitter roommates looking forward to parting ways. Ellie asked Victor to please consider her feelings, as she was among other things very overwhelmed. Meanwhile, Victor took her on a field trip to the ruins of his sister's house. He hoped that her seeing the place where he had narrowly escaped death would help her understand his trauma. Later, Ellie and Victor sat in his damaged house and discussed the uncertain future. Ellie had some reasonable concerns about how viable bartending would be. After all, with Providencia turned into so much debris, tourists would likely not be flocking to the island for a while. This quickly sparked a bitter argument about money. To Victor, Ellie's pragmatic worries about the future mean that she was fixated on money. This was clearly a touchy subject for Victor, something that he cared about more than making plans for the future. This dispute, which was largely one-sided, led to Victor storming off. It was an ugly fight, spanning more than one episode. Ellie felt humiliated, embarrassed, and stunned by how quickly the discussion had set off Victor. Victor, she observed, had a clear chip on his shoulder any time that money came up. Obviously, this felt personal to Ellie. Not only was he blowing up at her, but he had received thousands of dollars from her during their relationship. Victor's discomfort with the subject of money was decidedly aimed at Ellie, and cooler heads did not prevail. He told Ellie that, if she is so worried about money, she should just total up all that she'd sent him, and he'd pay it, and they'd be done. That was not what Ellie wanted or had asked for. Victor went even further, saying that Ellie hadn't sent him all that much, anyway. He said that, if Ellie had been sending him more money, he'd have a motorcycle or a car already. That is such an unkind thing to say. The one understandable part of Victor's side was about Providencia's economy. He resented the implication that the entire island depended upon tourism. That's not what Ellie was saying, but one can understand why it's a touchy topic, though it doesn't excuse Victor's words. Victor then told Ellie that he was the one doing her a favor. After all, he was giving her the privilege of a home in paradise. The toxic, ugly argument should have been the end of their relationship. Victor continued to rant about money, while saying that he was tired of discussing money. It was a truly miserable evening. No one knew that better than Ellie. Even when the argument ended, she no longer wished to be there. Ellie admitted to the cameras that she wished that she could, as if by magic, suddenly no longer be there. Yeah, that makes sense. The next day, however, they were both in better moods. Victor admitted that he appreciates all that Ellie has done for him. That's good, though misses the point that the fight should never have happened. The two made nice. While Victor said that the ring for Ellie had been washed away, he proposed with a seashell. So no, they did not break up this season. Victor and Ellie have played it cool on social media, not spoiling their own stories like so many other cast members do. Rumors and reports described Victor being in the United States. But on social media, Ellie appears to be back at work in Seattle, while Victor's focus appears to be on his daughter. But while Ellie and Victor were not on the finale, they did appear on the Tell-All promo. Tell-Alls and their promos can tell us a lot about what has changed in the many months since a season was filmed. In this case, Ellie and Victor filmed over a year ago, and probably filmed the Tell-All almost a year after that fight in Providencia. Ellie's friend Hiromi was probably everyone's favorite from their storyline. In the promo, Hiromi is heard asking Ellie if she fully trusts Victor. This is, after all, a man who cheated on her living with another woman, and portraying Ellie as a crazy ex. But the Tell-All has major visual clues, such as seating the two of them together. First, this indicates that they are still together in some form, because exes are usually seated separately. Second, this tells us that Victor was in the United States, and thus able to film in person, unlike several other members of the cast. In the promo, Victor appears to argue that he is not the first to cheat, as if it is therefore no big deal. Is that what Victor tells himself about his domestic violence history too? Obviously that's an infinitely more serious subject, but it's not an unfair question. Victor goes on to ask who hasn't cheated, as if this is a universal behavior. This does not receive a good response from anyone. Cheating isn't unheard of, but most people don't do it. Cheating makes you in the wrong, not evil, just wrong. All of these clues seem to confirm the rumors that they are still together and living in the United States. This could mean that we will see them on 90 Day Fiance next season, with Victor moving with Ellie on a K-1 visa. But that is not yet confirmed. They certainly had enough messy drama to warrant another season.